Why is Star Wars like this now?
The power of one.
Like a panther.
The power of two. The power of many.
There was a time Star Wars shows were really exciting. Before the series Ahsoka faces, depressed Obi Wan Kenobi, the power of one, like a bantha, the power of two, like a bantha, and the power of many. A time when everyone was still excited about the Filoniverse. But that time is long gone. The excitement is buried deep in the lava on Mustafar, and Disney's Star Wars writers are trying to get it back, but they keep burning their arms. And then we have armless writers for Star Wars, and we end up with garbage scripts like The Acolyte. Look, here's the thing. Not everything in these Star Wars shows is complete rubbish. But I, for one, am not excited about these Disney Plus shows anymore. Why? Because nothing exciting happens in these shows. I was still excited about Star Wars TV shows back when The Mandalorian had its first and second season, and I really couldn't wait for next week's episode to come. I missed that excitement and conversation that happened around those seasons. And we got a nice payoff at the end of the second season with Luke Skywalker using the Force to fight off the Dark Troopers, and then we get the face reveal after he takes off his hood, and then they ran out of budget for the season and they just copy pasted Luke Skywalker from 2005's PlayStation 2 Battlefront.
Are you a Jedi? I am.
And we all cheered, and some of us were even happy.
Before the dark times. Before... Like a panther. Panther.
The Book of Boba Fett, the beginning of the dark times for Star Wars TV. This show failed one of its first missions of writing a TV show, making the main character compelling. I mean, people had been waiting for years to see Boba Fett and what he was up to, ever since they saw him in Empire Strikes Back and then in Jedi getting swallowed by Sarlacc. That sounds wrong. But what do we get? A crime overlord who does good deeds and negotiates about peace and harmony in Mos Espa or whatever, filled with back-to-tank flashbacks.
Boring!
It's kind of bad when the new Mandalorian armor-wearing character shows up in the series, and that's when people actually get excited about the show. That cool character was supposed to be the OG Boba Fett. That's why people wanted to see him in a show. We even had him appear in Mando Season 2, owning those stormtroopers, and that's when we saw how cool he actually is. So naturally people are like, oh wow, his show is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see what he gets up to in his own show.
Like a panther. Panther.
We also get more PlayStation 2 Luke Skywalker with Ahsoka this time in some remote planets, and he's training Grogu with his Mark Hamill AI voice. I really don't mind this sequence except for Luke's weird voice and the fact that it doesn't make any bloody sense here in this show. The show is called The Book of Boba Fett, and everyone who watched this was literally more excited about seeing PlayStation 2 Luke, Ahsoka, Grogu, The Mandalorian, Cad Bane, Cad Bane's hat, Sand Person number 3, Jabba's cousin, Sand, literally anything else except Boba Fett.
Like a panther.
And then we got another show that got most Star Wars fans pretty excited. One of my first videos on this channel was predictions about what this show was going to be about. And I mean, getting Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor back to do an Obi-Wan show, what can go wrong? Turns out the question we should have asked was, what cannot go wrong? Because what the hell was this? Turn on your brains, writers, and make Obi-Wan turn on his lightsaber before the middle of the season. Why are you teasing and withholding the lightsaber ignition for so long in a 6-episode season? And since we're talking about turning things on, turn on the fucking lights in this show. Who can even see what's bloody happening on the screen? Oh yeah, they gave this show only a $90 million budget, so maybe what happened here was that Kathleen Kennedy was like, hey, where's all the bloody lights for the set? Well, we had a guy who was supposed to go buy some ring lights, but we ran out of money so we couldn't pay him. And then Kathleen Kennedy goes to get a couple of $5 flashlights from Walmart or whatever, and then she shines the light with a Hayden and Ewan and is like, can you guys see? Is it still too dark? Do these Walmart flashlights even work? And then the crew is just like, Kathy, just stop, please. Just stop it. You're not helping at all. Just go sit by the pool in one of your mansions. Excuse me? I could have you fired. Oh, sure. And have Entertainment Weekly write another article about you firing staff? Go ahead. I dare you. You piece of... So anyway, where was I? Ah, yes. Obi Wan Kenobi sucks. Even after The Last Jedi, where we had people complaining about the grumpy old Luke Skywalker, they still wanted to make a grumpy old Obi-Wan who lost all hope. Like, yeah, fair enough, he did suffer a fair bit, but I mean, come on. How many times do we want to see these depressed old Jedi who never use their lightsabers? Let's just see how many episodes it takes for Jude Law to turn on his lightsaber in Skeleton Crew. The kids in it are going to be like, wow, you're a Jedi? Show us your lightsaber. Okay, that sounds wrong again. But anyway, he's gonna be like, kids, it's only the second episode of the season. Let's not jump the gun here. Can't you kids just be happy I showed you the key trick using the Force? Bloody kids. And then we had that Reva character in Obi-Wan, and I just knew it from the trailers already that when we bring up new characters like her, they would give her so much screen time in the 6 episodes that we hardly have any time to delve deeper into the story of Vader and Obi-Wan. I feel like we really should have gone into more Vader's perspective rather than focus on the Reva character that was written poorly anyway. And let's not forget about young Leia showing up. I just didn't like the whole concept of Obi-Wan and Leia meeting at all, since in the original movie she says, years ago you helped my father serve in the Clone Wars blah blah blah. She wouldn't have phrased it like that if they had bloody met before, and now that iconic hologram message doesn't make any sense. But let's be honest here, they're gonna make another special edition edit to New Hope and fix their retcons and gain more fans from Gen Alpha or whatever, and it's gonna be like, years ago I was kidnapped by those goons whose weakness was a tree branch and running away. Facts, no printer. So maybe you could help me out. Come on, Obi, you're my only hope. Skibbity Ohio Riz. What really baffles me about this is why did they give this show a $90 million budget and the Acolyte double that amount? My theory is that they thought that casting Hayden and Ewan would be enough to start raking in the views and the money, but nah, Kathy, that's not how TV bloody works. But anyway, I could talk about the Obi-Wan show more, but let's leave that for another day because frankly there's just too much to complain about for one video. And you know me, I will complain about something until the end of the world, until one of my subscribers decides enough is enough, and then they build a spaceship, kidnaps me and takes me all the way to Mustafar and throws me in the lava. Ah, I'm burning! It hurts! But it's still less painful than watching the Acolyte! Bloop, bloop, bloop. And then they also throw in the Star Wars shows. And Filoniverse. And Kathy. Anyway, then we have Andor. Ah yes, the spark of hope. The good one. The one show that had the least to do with anything Star Wars related. Huh? Ow. Alright, I'm kidding. This was the most expensive show out of the bunch, but that's also because it was a longer series with 12 episodes, which in my opinion, it didn't need to be that long. I mean, they released the first 3 episodes right off the bat, which made me think initially, okay, so they released 3 episodes, meaning nothing is gonna happen in those episodes. And when I eventually started watching the show, that was pretty much the case, because the start of the show was very slow, but I did end up liking it by the end. But even though this show was very well received by almost everyone, I thought something was off about it in terms of what Star Wars usually is. Maybe it just didn't have enough Star Wars stuff in it, in my opinion. Like other alien species than humans in the show, and even some of the sets looked a bit unimaginative and cheap in the show. Probably Kathy shopping for set props from Walmart again.
The best place in the galaxy for everything Star Wars. Walmart.
Amazing. It's exciting.
After Andor, we go back to The Mandalorian with season 3, and it's just some of the worst I've ever witnessed. I mean, seriously, what happened here? Half of the episodes seemed to be filler episodes, the story moved really slowly, and the actual story we did get didn't make any bloody sense at all. Moff Gideon returns, and he's lamer than ever. I mean, that villain was already defeated. Why are we going back to the same character? Lame. The end fight is boring. They also destroyed a Darksaber, which is just... Okay, why? Wouldn't it have been a cool thing to still have in the galaxy somewhere? Bo-Katan is an annoying character in this. She wasn't that bad in season 2, but when we meet her in season 3, she's just super whingy, and she's just sitting there being depressed because she can't be the rightful ruler of Mandalore because she didn't win the Darksaber in battle, blah blah blah. Get over it! The planet's destroyed anyway, who cares about the customs of the culture? And then we have the episode with Jack Black and Lizzo, and it's just like, oh, look at that, it's Jack Black and Lizzo. And it's just literally just for the sake of people recognizing celebrities. Please don't do this in the future, Star Wars. This show just went from a 9 to a 2 so quickly after every episode they released, and this season was just full of episodes that got me saying, nothing about this is exciting at all. We also get a beach monster attack, not once, but twice in the season. And the Mandalorians are just like, I know we've had 2 monster attacks on this beach, but I don't think we should move. What? But it's too dangerous. One of our young ones almost died. Yeah, but then we gotta pack up all the things and the weapons, and these armors are pretty heavy too. It just seems like too much trouble. Ahsoka is probably the best out of the bat shows we have gotten on Disney Plus since the dark times began. But even this show is just not as good as I hoped it to be. It's basically Rebels Season 5, and if you haven't seen Rebels, you might have still enjoyed it, but I feel like there's a few scenes where it's like, oh, the music's building up, they're gonna reveal a character, who's it gonna be? And it's a character you wouldn't know if you didn't watch Rebels, and people are gonna be like, who's that? What's going on? And then Disney is like, to find out more about this character, you're gonna have to watch 4 seasons of a kids animated show and keep your Disney Plus subscription for even longer. The lightsaber fights in this were also lame, very slow and boring. Clearly the most interesting characters were the dark side users in this show, but we don't get a lot of answers about what they're actually planning to do in the first season until the very end, where they tease some cool stuff happening with Ray Stevenson's character, but I'm not sure what they're planning to do with that storyline since he unfortunately passed away. The show also takes the characters to a completely new galaxy with new systems, and I was kind of like, oh, I wonder what's going to be in there. Turns out it's just hills with rocks and grass, so that's creative. One of the highlights was Hayden Christensen in this. I reckon he was better used here than in the Obi Wan show, and seeing him interacting with Ahsoka in live action was great. We also find out that Sabine has been training in the ways of the Force, but she can't even move a cup across the table. But then at the end, she's full on Star Killer, pulling down Star Destroyers from the sky. Okay, not really, but she does level up kind of all of a sudden and conveniently for the plot. The next thing after this was Tales of the Empire, and it's still boring to me. I made a video on it if you're interested, I'll link it down below, and you better watch it after this video or I will make your life annoying AF. I will find out where you live, and every time you're trying to make toast, I'll press the cancel button on your toaster. You will never have perfectly toasted toast ever again! Anyway, the animated Star Wars shows seem to have a way better track record than the live action ones, and that was the case with Tales of the Jedi, because that was such a good show. So naturally I was very excited about Tales of the Empire, especially Barris's story. But was it good? No, it bloody wasn't. Why? Short answer is, it's boring AF, and I was expecting more tales about the Empire, as the title of the show suggests. Not a tale about a side character and a Jedi. So get out of here, Tales of the Empire. And then we have the Acolyte, the cherry on top. The crown of Star Wars TV. There, I wanna gouge my eyes out before I have to watch any more of this. I also made a video about this show, so I'll link that one below too, and if you don't watch it, then say goodbye to your toast. Since the video upload though, this show has been cancelled, and it's already got a petition going, renewing the Acolyte for another season. Look, I kinda hate that they leave storylines hanging and we're never gonna get any answers, but if the quality of the show is this bad, do we really want another season? Just to see what will happen to Smilo Ren and the Green Woman with the floppy lightsaber, and Darth Plagueis the Wise sitting in a cave doing death sticks? No, we don't need that. What we need is more good quality storytelling and bigger budgets for the shows. So please start making some sense, Kathy. The Acolyte sucked. It was a boring show with stupid writing.
I think it's just amazing. It's exciting.
No, it got bad ratings and you cancelled it. Shut up! Where are you going?
I don't have enough accolade. I think it's just amazing.
No, stop it, Kathy. Don't you dare walk into that Walmart. You know what? Fuck this. Skeleton Crew is coming this December, and the trailer looks alright in my opinion. I'm not like super excited about it, but it does look like a cute story of some kids wanting to go have an adventure and then they meet Jude Law. So it's basically Stranger Things in the Star Wars universe, except for the Jude Law part. So let's all keep our fingers crossed and hope the new show is any good, because Kathy really needs a win, guys. I'm really rooting for her. And she also needs to stop buying props from bloody Walmart. Also, just looking at the Skeleton Crew trailer, the kids are living in the suburbs on this unknown planet. And you know how Star Wars usually has like one biome for each planet, like how Mustafar is basically a lava planet and Coruscant is just a city around the entire planet. So is this one just completely covered in suburbia? Is it just going to be the suburbs, a school district, grocery store, a Walmart, and then it's just another suburb? Because I don't know, if that were my home planet, it would be a personal hell for me, but I can imagine Kathy being like,
amazing. It's exciting.
These Disney Plus shows have gone from super exciting, I can't wait for next week's episode, to, oh, a new Star Wars show? Wonder how much this one's gonna suck. Shows like Andor are keeping the flickering spark of hope alive, but only barely. Anyway, time to continue working on my Phantom Menace video again. I promise it's coming soon. Go and watch my other videos in the meanwhile, or I'll cancel your toast. Like and subscribe for more. Bye-bye now.
The power of one.
Please don't.
The power of two.
Please don't.
The power of